What is going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, and Spurs have just won by 4-1 against those East Londoners, and it has been an unbelievable performance, particularly in that second half. I mean, the game started and we were like, we were controlling the possession. Kulusevski was being really hard to handle, but we weren't creating those clear-cut chances, weren't we? We go 1-0 down. I think West Ham really came into the game. And then I think we ended the half really well, though, didn't we? And then the second half was just, we blew them away.
Yeah, exactly that. I think Kulu dragged us back into the game, by the skin of our teeth with that goal to get us back to 1-1. And then as soon as the second half started, it was just all Tottenham. We just absolutely flooded them in that opening 20 minutes of the second half. Goal after goal, chance after chance. And yeah, we did have a bit of luck, with some of the goals and some of the... But we created our own luck today. We were making things happen. We were putting good balls into the box. We were beating them, the last man. And it all paid off. And at the end of the day, Sonny with a clinical finish to just wrap up a lovely, beautiful London derby win for us at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So I'm absolutely delighted.
And you saw all the West Ham fans, they couldn't get out of that stadium quick enough today. It was a joy to behold. It was great to see. And finally, Spurs get over the line in a London derby under Ange Postecoglou. West Ham, we have taken to the absolute cleanest today. And, we're all excited to see Sonny back in the team today. After the last two games against Manchester United, if we had him, we'd probably score 5 or 6. Against Brighton, we were clearly missing him out on that left-hand side. Today, out of the 4 goals, he had his heavy hand in 3 of the goals that we scored today. I mean, the first one that he was involved with was a lovely ball round the back to Destiny Udogie when he was tugged out to that left-hand side. And obviously, Udogie lays it back to Bissouma, and Bissouma does the rest. The second one, he forces the own goal with, it wasn't the greatest shot in the world, but he forces that shot and it rebounds off Alariola into Todibo in the back of the net. And and then he actually got on the score sheet where a lovely ball from that ball from Sarr. That ball from Sarr was just beautiful.
Split the whole West Ham defence apart.
Literally. Brilliant. And then Sonny does what Sonny does best, one-on-one with his defender, step over after step over after step over, and then he finishes it and goes through Ariola's hands. So what a performance from the captain today.
Clinical, ruthless. And I was asking for Sonny to step up in that second half, and boy, did he. He took it upon himself to get the job done, get us over the line. And I'm just so glad to have him back because we really, really missed him.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I'm not sure what happened to Maddison because I thought he was having a fairly good first half. Same. Obviously, Spurs weren't creating as many clear-cut chances as we would have liked and as we did in the second half. But if I'm led to believe what the comments say, I haven't seen any official word from Ange or what the commentators were saying, but they're saying it was tactical to take off Maddison. I did see him looking a bit upset, sitting in the on the bench in the second half. If it is tactical, what do you make out of it?
If it is tactical, it's a very interesting one. And I think actually Ange made the right move because as soon as you did move Pape Sarr into that midfield, it gave us a bit more legs. I felt like we were a bit more dominant in midfield in that second half. And I think we actually looked better in that part of the pitch with Kulu in Maddison's position and then Pape behind him and Biss sweeping everything up. So if it is tactical, hats off to Ange. If it's not, it is what it is. It's still a good substitution if Madders has taken a knock. So either way, it was the right move.
I did think the dynamic of the midfield looked a lot more stronger when Maddison went off. I like Maddison in the attacking phase, but I felt like in the defensive aspect, you had Sarr and Bissouma there, and they were just mopping up everything, weren't they? And that's in the midfield. And I felt like West Ham found it really hard to try and... Because they just kept winning the ball back, winning the ball back, really tenacious, really aggressive. And maybe that was the thinking behind Ange.
Possibly. And I just want to mention, another player that you mentioned there, Bissouma. I think, honestly, if Kulu didn't take the man of the match and have star of the show, Bissouma today played phenomenally well, breaking up the play, tackling, winning second balls. and eventually getting on the score sheet and finishing off that cross from the cutback from Udogie. So I think he deserves a very special mention. And I think that personally, since he had that whole laughing gas thing and everything, he's really shown us Tottenham fans, and he's showing everyone at the club what he's capable of. And I just want to say a big special thank you to Yves Bissouma today for a phenomenal performance.
And we talk about responses. We talk about the response from Yves Bissouma in terms of what you're saying, balloon getting, all that, responding in the perfect manner. I don't think he's had a bad game or a bad moment on the pitch since he has come back from that. But that is the response that this football club needed after
100%.
that, you know, that terrible second half against Brighton. And, you know, we get level just before half time today. That response in the second half today, just something that we just need to, that should give you the confidence now to go on a run now.
100%. It's showing you that second half against Brighton was just a blip. This is the real Tottenham. This is what we're capable of. We can create chance after chance. We can just come at you relentless. Well, we were like a hurricane in that second half. We were relentless, just coming at them, winning the ball back again and again, going again. And it set us up in a position here. I know we've got a lot of home games coming up. Can we go on a little run? Can we, bring home 3 points in the Europa League, come home with the 3 points in the Premier League, and then
next year.
Yeah, next year. I'm getting ahead of myself there, but yeah, in the Premier League. And can we possibly squeeze past City in the League Cup?
I don't see any reason why not. If we can play like we played today in the second half. Just back on Yves Bissouma a second. I just want to run through his stats from the game. 36 out of his 39 passes were accurate. 1 chance created, 6 passes into the final third. 4 out of his 4 tackles were successful. 4 clearances, 3 headed clearances, 3 ball recoveries. 7 out of his 12 ground duels won, and he won 2 fouls as well. I mean, he proper bossed that midfield today.
Trust me, he was key to our victory. As much as Kulu was the man, and he was brilliant and deserves his man of the match, Bissouma was so good today. And I'm loving seeing him back at his best, because I remember last season, those first 10 games, he was unplayable. And when he's feeling good and when he's in that kind of mood, I think we're so difficult to play against. Very, very difficult.
And how do you compare the dynamic that maybe Rodrigo gives us and Yves brings us? I think, like, with the way that we want to play, if both these players are playing at the top of their game, obviously it's great selection headaches to have. But I actually think Bissouma probably gives us a bit more in that position than a Bentancur gives us.
I think it depends who you're playing against.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah. I think it depends on your opposition to who is you're going to get the most out of. I think some certain teams that play a certain way, you get more out of having, like today, Bissouma was in there because of the bite of that West Ham midfield. If there's a midfield with a little bit less bite, then maybe you can slip a Bentancur in there and he'll, play those little balls in through and cut the defences apart. I just think it's wonderful to see. Great headache to have for Ange. And I think what you're seeing is the squad actually gelling and coming together, because you're seeing everyone have a good influence on the team. You're seeing the bench players come in and have an influence, and it's looking like a very harmonious dressing room at the moment. And that's hats off to the players and to Ange for creating that atmosphere. Yeah,
I want to talk about Big Dom Solanke, because obviously he didn't get on the score sheet today, but I still think he had a very strong performance. I don't think he had a goal contribution today. I think
he was phenomenal.
The way he was dropping deep, that pass that just let Maddison drive up the pitch for the first goal that Spurs scored today was unbelievable. And he was doing that all day long. Like, how many times does he just nick in front of that midfielder and win the ball back? How many times can he show that really good footwork that I just didn't know he had before joining Spurs?
Yeah, no, definitely. His footwork, his hold-up play, his work rate as well. He didn't stop running the whole game. His pressing from the front, everything was phenomenal. The only things that were missing really were those goal contributions. You're looking for assists and goals, but they will come with time. They really, really will. I'm seeing a lot from Solanke in his start to his Spurs career. I'm very impressed with what I see. Long may it continue. Just add a couple of goals and assists, and I'm sure that will come. Sure.
He kind of just does, like I kept saying all stream, he kind of does everything apart from getting in those scoring positions. And if he does do that, I mean, does the goal contributions even matter if you can find goals from all over the pitch?
Well, this is the thing with Ange's system. It's not reliant on a striker scoring 30 goals a season. So, you know, can Solanke aim for that in between 15 and 20 for this season? And that would be a good season. As long as he's doing all this other work around it, then I think that's a phenomenal season for him. And the goals will come. They will come.
We talk about Destiny Udogie, how poor he was for the defensive aspect in the goal that we did concede, and maybe Porro going a bit missing, maybe ball watching a little bit. But what did you make out of both their performances on a whole?
So I think Udogie redeemed himself in a major way with his assist for Yves Bissouma. Great, wing play there to beat his man and then cut back in and lay it off. Defensive wise, I think he needs to improve. He needs to understand that his positioning basically needs to be a bit better. He needs to be behind the line of the defender. He can't let that defender have a yard or two on him, which is what he let Bowen have, and that's the way he managed to cut in on him. So I'm looking for improvements on Udogie's defensive side. However, going forward, he redeemed himself in that second half. Porro, I thought, again, his overall play going forward was good. Could have done a little bit better on a ball when he should have flashed it across the goal, and he just kind of scuffed it and shot it up in the air. But in general, very good game as well. Probably 7 out of 10 for Porro.
Yeah, I like both their performance from an attacking display, and I just feel like something is missing from Udogie's play from a defensive aspect at the moment. You saw the 3 goals that we came unstuck with at Brighton. We saw the one today. I think he's getting beaten one-on-one way too easily a bit at the moment. But look, I don't want to take it away from the brilliant performance today, because I think it really was a 5-star performance, particularly in that second half from Spurs. And we were talking at half-time and said we need to take it up a notch, and we did that.
Yeah, we did. We really did. And we stepped up. The game was right in the balance there at half-time. 1-1, could go either way. And we just put our foot on West Ham's neck and just took them to the sword, basically, in the second half.
We need to talk about the man of the match. We need to talk about the man of the match, which was Dejan Kulusevski. What a performance today. And when you think this man can't get better, he just does. The guy is a phenomenon this season. He's been our best player of the season. Every single game, putting in top-class performances. 1 goal, 29 of his 35 passes completed, 2 chances created, 4 passes into the final third, 3 out of his 3 tackles won, 8 ball recoveries, 8 of his 14 ground duels won, and 3 fouls won as well. And I was saying at the beginning, we were both saying it, that he looked bang up for this game right from the start. Maybe when Spurs weren't really that at it. He bought 2 fouls in the opening 15 minutes. They found it so hard to deal with him for the whole game. Gets on the score sheet, maybe a bit fortuitous with the way it does go in. It kind of takes a knock off Areola, then hits both posts and goes in. But that goal is what his performance deserved.
100%. You make your own luck in football. And Kulu, from the whistle, you could just see that he was bang up for this game, and he wanted to mark his influence on it, and he did. He got his goal. His overall play was phenomenal. He settled into this new position, or positions, shall I say, that he finds himself in, because he's playing in multiple different positions, and he's just going from strength to strength. Now, I can remember about 9 months ago, I was reading an article about him and his whole journey from Sweden to Italy and now to England. And even though he's so young, he's so mature for his age, which just gives me so much confidence going forward that he can really push on. From the player that we're seeing today, he can go from strength to strength. And he's just showing me that week in, week out for Tottenham Hotspur. I think he's been our best player this season overall. And long may it continue, Kulu, because you are just proving all your doubters wrong. And I'm expecting big things from him this season.
100%. And the kind of criticism with Kulusevski has been that he doesn't provide maybe these goal contributions as often as he should with the quality that he does have. He's impacting in all phases of the game, from the defensive phase, from the attacking phase. Now with 2 goals in his last 3 games, we're really starting to add that.
100%. And he should be looking for more. He should be hungry, and he
is hungry.
He is hungry. Yeah, exactly that. He is hungry. We know we've got his compatriot Bergvall as well, who he's kind of taken under his wing as well, and kind of showing him the Spurs way, which I'm loving. So yeah, brilliant performance from Kulu. Go out and enjoy yourself, and get yourself ready for Thursday night.
And you saw West Ham's best player probably today was Mohamed Kudus, right? He was really hard to deal with, particularly in that first half. You know, we couldn't get the ball off him at times. But he lost his head. He lost his head completely. He did not know what was going on that second half. The challenge with the coming together between him and Mickey van der Ven. Mickey kind of hits him a little bit, then Kudus slaps him in the face, then knocks into Richarlison. Richarlison's on the floor. Then Sarr comes up to him. He knocks Sarr in the face. And then I was like, what? How is the referee how is he giving the same punishment to Van der Ven than he gave to Mohamed Kudus? VAR intervened, obviously, and the right decision was made, and he gets a straight red. But what is he thinking?
You know, the referee's right there. You can see what's going on. And if not, you have 5 other referees around who can see what's going on. Surely one of them must have seen Kudus eye gouging or face palming our players. I can't understand how...
Just going for everyone. Just going for everyone.
He lost his mind completely. He lost his mind. And honestly, if I was Lopetegui, I will be not just angry at the defeat and the manner of the defeat, but I will be specifically out for him because he's an absolute idiot. He's not only hurt their team by getting sent off and getting banned for 3 games, but now they've got no threat. You know, like you said, he's their best player. He was their best player today. Now they've got no threat for the next 3 games.
Happy days. Happy days.
Happy days for us. But boy, West Ham are in big trouble, I reckon.
Yeah.
How long is Lopetegui going to be there?
Well, yeah, I mean, West Ham sitting 14th in the league with everyone still to play this season. West Ham are in a very bad way at the moment. You thought maybe they're turning a corner just before international break, winning 4-1 against Ipswich. Well, they've responded that by losing 4-1 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in their cup final. Imagine turning up to a cup final and losing 4-1. Yeah. That's what they've done today.
Exactly that. Long may it continue.
Long may it continue. They're on 8 points right now, West Ham. And Leicester on 6 and Everton on 5 in touching distance of them, who both have to play over the weekend. So, look, I think it's unbelievable result, unbelievable game for Tottenham Hotspur today. When you look forward into the run of games that we have now, we got AZ Alkmaar on Thursday, Palace away in the Premier League, Man City at home, and then Aston Villa at home in the Premier League. We have to kick on now.
100%.
This means nothing if we don't respond at Crystal Palace and we don't respond with Aston Villa.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's time to keep the ball rolling. We've managed to turn around our fortunes from the Brighton second half, and it's about consistency now. Can we start racking up those points week after week? And to be honest, after a performance like this, I'm feeling pretty confident.
Are you feeling we can go and do it?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Look what we did to Villa last season, 4-0.
And you know what? We lost to them at home last season, but even in that game,
we should have won.
We had enough chances that Bentancur goes down injured. Like, in those first 20 minutes, we did enough in just those 20 minutes alone to go and win that game.
Easily.
So there's no reason why we can't, with Aston Villa coming onto our patch and win that game. There is no... Why can't we?
We gave them 4 at Villa Park. We need to be winning that.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So it feels like the kind of negativity and the kind of frustration after that Brighton game, after that performance, is well and firmly gone for you?
Yeah, definitely. It was just a blip.
And that's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. So that is it from us today. Spurs have burst the bubbles. We've hammered the hammers by 4 goals to 1, people. I want to thank you all for coming on today. We've got a quick super chat here from a Korean supporter of ours saying Son is back, and it was an unbelievable performance from our captain today, and it shut all the haters up about Sonny. But we'll be back on the fan show in about 30 minutes time. So I want to hear you, and I want to speak to you. I want you to have your say on the brilliant game, which was Spurs 4, West Ham 1, sending West Ham packing back to East London. We'll see you all very soon. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.